Hi there, I'm Sanjana Rishi. I'm a content creator and a lover and collector of Indian art, and I'm so excited to show you around my home. Come on. Okay, so literally right next to the front door of my house is where my appreciation for tribal and folk art of India begins. So this is actually a Sohrai bowl. You can see that it is almost like a paper mache, and it's been painted with these beautiful motifs that are really traditional natural dye-based paints that are used for Sohrai painting. Normally this is done on walls. But I just fell in love with this piece and had to have it. Also here is my contemporary Indian art. I don't have a lot of it, but this is a beautiful lithograph illustration. Okay, so this is another one of my favorite pieces. It's a Warli piece, which is a tribal art out of Maharashtra. It's actually a really old art form, and as you can see, it uses kind of almost like very, very rudimentary figurines to depict the life in the village of in Maharashtra. And one of the really cool things about Warli in general is that it's usually done on a cow dung base. So it's usually like canvas or cloth with cow dung on top, which is what gives you this kind of brown color. And like I said, generally depicts life in the village. So this one is about fishing, but you can find Warli pieces about praying, eating, working, farming, and I just love this one because it's so intricately done, and I love the netting with the water in the back. So one of the things that you'll notice throughout my house is that I'm really inspired by nature and greens. So these three, for example, are a really cool way that a friend of mine and an artist called Ishita Sachdeva has combined botanicals and like elements of architecture, because she's a trained architect. So this is all, it's graphically designed, but it is all sort of this mix of old architecture and botanicals, which I think speaks really well to India as well, because I think India evokes this idea of these old, Mughal and pre-Mughal architecture with overgrown trees, and I just really love these three pieces. Then, wow, I have so many. And then you'll also notice one of the other things I'm really, really inspired by is women. So there are a lot of images of women. These are by someone called Shipra Bhattacharya, and I just love them because they're also giving side-eye, and I love to give side-eye. Okay, so this is my living room. Again, a space that I have taken a really long time to decorate, but that I love so much because it's like very personal to me, and it includes a lot of very different styles. And yeah, welcome. Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite things in my house, this shelf. I keep moving things around and making them look different on this shelf, but overall, as you can see, I have a lot of green, and I like to, combine a lot of different kinds of art and paintings, and photos and like baskets and everything here. So if you want to, so here we have, so I have a really old, this book is from 1857. It's a book about a French person who was sort of charting their experiences in India. Then I obviously have these lovely blue pottery pieces, which just add a little bit of like a botanical element while adding color as well. Then I have, this actually is Patta Chitra, and it's one of my favorite things and one of my daughter's favorite things. She uses it to give all the plants in the house water, and it's just like on its own so stunning. Then I have here also my Matani Pacheri, which, as I was just saying, is something my nanny wanted me to add this in order to bring a little bit of Mata and the mother goddess into our space for blessing. And what else is there? And of course, I have a lot of books about, for example, Jangar Singh Sham, because I'm really inspired by the story of Gond, and specifically the story of Jangar Singh Sham, who was obviously such a pioneer in his field and, became a story that we all kind of know in India now. Yeah. And like I said, there's shola flowers just everywhere around my house. So here, randomly there and there. I mean, you'll see them everywhere in every color because I just think that they're the best form of decoration when it comes to flowers. Okay, so this is the other side of my living room. So I really wanted to add a lot of different colors in this space because this is a shared family space for all of us. So I have a lot of pinks. I have a lot of greens, of course. I love green. But I also picked a lot of little pieces that have amazing stories. So for example, this trove, which is just a cute little blanket that we wear, is actually made of kala cotton. And if you don't know what kala cotton is, you can watch my reel about kala cotton. But it's basically India's indigenous cotton form that can grow with even very little water in areas such as the Kutch. And then, okay, next, we have all of my plants. Again, I have shola flowers here too, everywhere. Okay, so another one of my favorite pieces in this room is this mirror. It is, I found it at Design ID. It was part of an exhibition by a brand called, I think it's pronounced Net. And what's really cool about this is that they're actually a rug brand. So they just had this as like a display thing. And I literally went up to them and harassed them and played with their 7-month-old daughter until they sold it to me. So it's not an actual piece, it's a showpiece. But what is really cool about this brand, which I love, is that they designed the red carpet for the Met Gala this year. So me, Met Gala, I should be there next time. Okay, we are now in Amira's play area, which is a cute little area. It was actually all of this used to be open and I took this space to become my walk-in closet. So now it was kind of a small space. We didn't know what else to do with it, so we decided to make it into a little play area. It's actually dead in the center of our house. So if you're in the kitchen, you can see her. If you're in our room, you can hear her. So it's really a convenient place to have our play area. Of course, the main feature of the play area is this stunning Gond mural. I'm just completely obsessed with it. I love to wake up every morning and come out here and look at it the first thing. And Amira really loves it too. And it took really almost a week to complete. We thought maybe it would take 2 days, but we were wrong. As you can see, the level of detail is just like super, super visible in all parts of it. So for example, if you see the tree, the way that the branches are shaded in is just stunning. The elephant's face, the way that it's shaded is just beautiful. Every bird, everything has been placed here with intention as well. So we went through many iterations of the sketch. And so now what we've ended up with are some of my favorite animals. So birds, turtles. It had to have a turtle. I love turtles. They're the cutest animal ever. And so turtles, obviously fish, peacock, deer, monkey, this very human looking monkey actually. And yeah, so it's one of my favorite things. And so one of the things that I think you'll notice is different about this versus traditional Goan pieces is that it lacks any color. So Goan pieces are known to be very, very vibrant and colorful, but we thought that as Amira grew up, we would love to color it in ourselves with her. So hopefully, the next time MeMeraki does a home tour, it'll be a little bit more colored in by our little artist herself. Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite walls now in the house because of this kind of collection of small bheel pieces. These are actually, each one of these is done by Shanta Bhuria, who is the daughter of one of the most well-known bheel artists in India, who has gone on to get international recognition. Anyway, what I love about these is that obviously the colors, but also how they kind of work together. And it's really fun with Amira. She's obsessed with these. She now says, points at them and says what they all are. And she rotates her favorite ones. So this owl was her favorite for a while. And I have videos from her, when she was 6-7 months, going up to this. And if I said, what's your favorite? Every single time she would go to this one. Recently, her favorite is this one because she's really into elephants. So the elephant, she loves it. But yeah, I just really love this collection of pieces. And I think each one of them is so brilliant. And together, it's magnificent, really. Okay, so welcome to my bedroom. As you can see, I have now a clingy toddler. Yep, that's me. This is the greatest work of art I've ever created. And she's going to show you. What's that? Show the painting. Where's the painting? So that is a Sohrai painting. It's actually 2 companion pieces. And I also got those from MeMeraki. And I love them. And the reason I chose to put them here is that Sohrai and cover paintings especially were originally done to adorn the room or like the walls outside of the rooms of newlyweds. So I thought it was kind of cheeky to put them next to our marital bed of mine and my husband's. So yeah, I really love them. I love the contrast. So I love anything that is like a little muted for this room specifically. And then usually everything else in the house is so colorful, but my husband's aesthetic is much more minimal. So I wanted to keep it as like simple as possible. And I just love that they still have sort of the nature theme that runs throughout the house, but that they're a little bit different looking than everything else. So this is one of my favorite pieces, and a little bit of background about it. It is a Bega art piece, and basically Bega are a tribe in MP, and the women of the tribe often get these tattoos that you can see here. And so the tattoo art form is called Godna, and this is actually done by Manglabai, who is herself a tattoo artist as well. So every girl in the tribe is sort of like her, like coming into her own ceremony at around 9 or 10, usually get these tattoos. They start with the forehead and then they go all the way down. And I just thought this was such a beautiful depiction of Bega art generally, the Godna aspect of it specifically, and again, my obsession for women and sort of the empowerment of women. So I love that it's by a woman, the subject is a woman, and that really the woman is the only thing on the canvas. And I thought it was just perfectly fit for this space. And I got it from the Inherited Arts Forum. Okay, so right now we are in my basement. This is the more adult area of the house. I hope you can't see my trampoline over there. That's not adult, but anyway. So in every space in my house, I try to incorporate various different craft forms of India. So for example, here on this wall, we have blue pottery from Rajasthan, or painted pottery actually, but that's not technically blue pottery from Rajasthan. And then this is like a small iron bidri curio from Karnataka. These are Gomera masks from West Bengal. And each of these I could talk about for 25 minutes at least, because each of the craft forms has like a really rich history. So Gomera, for example, they're usually versions of various female deities, and it's part of a ritual dance that they do in that area of West Bengal, where they wear masks and they do it to ward off evil spirits. Okay, wow, there's so many. I'm like stressed out about how many there are here. So of course, this is my little Mughal miniature, which I also love. And it's done on scroll. So it's really a beautiful piece. And I think miniatures are something that came from Persia and but became such a big part of Mughal and also Rajasthani culture. This is my favorite terracotta piece. It's called, it's a Panch Devi. So it depicts 5 different Devis. And what I love about it, other than the fact that I got it on MeMeraki, is that for me, it represents each of the 5 women who exist in my space, in my home. So there's me, my daughter, my nanny, and then the 2 ladies who live here and help out with us. And I just love that, you know, I was able to incorporate something into my decor aesthetic that also represented the people that are in my life. Then behind me here, I don't know if you can see, but behind me here are 2 Kali Ghat paintings. Kali Ghat also is from West Bengal. I have a lot of actually Bengali craft forms. So yeah, Kali Ghat is from West Bengal. It's done outside of Calcutta next to the Kali temple, where basically people will come. And actually it's a fairly new art form. So I think it was like 19th century when the British started coming and visiting this temple space. It became like the patuas there, the artists there started painting, you know, stuff that depicted Bengali life and culture. So you'll see a lot of women, you'll see a lot of babus, who are kind of the more affluent Bengali men, and bibis, and a lot of fish and a lot of dogs and cats for some reason. But you know, I love it all. We're still in my basement, This actually is a wall that is not yet full, but I hope to fill up with different basket weaving craft forms from all over India. So I have some from Assam. I have some of my favorites are the cotton ones, which are from the Chettinad area of Tamil Nadu. And then I have Moonj, Sikki, Sabai. This is, I believe, cane, and it's from Himachal Pradesh. It's a kilta, which you put on your back and you use for farming. These are obviously like winnowing baskets. Yeah. So I think India has something like 100 and something different kinds of grasses that you can weave into different kind of basket forms. So actually, while they all look the same, a lot of them are very different grasses. So for example, this is done with palm leaves or palm fronds. Sikki and Moonj is a kind of grass. And then obviously there's jute. Sabai is a whole different kind of grass. Then there is water hyacinth. There is, again, bamboo. There is sitapal. There is everything. We have so many different grass forms in India, and it's really cool to try and collect different baskets from different states across the country. Okay, so this is one of my favorite pieces. I got it on MeMeraki, and it is a kalamkari hand-painted piece on cloth. So for me, one of the things that draws me to kalamkari on cloth is the fact that I am really so interested in textiles, and I'm so interested in, fashion and clothing. And I think kalamkari is like a very unique way of like blending my love for paintings and, on the wall art forms with my love for fashion and textiles. So this is all on cloth, and it's completely hand painted. I'm really inspired by nature, so I really gravitate towards pieces of art that have plant life and like nature in them. And if you look at the detail in this painting, what I love about it is that it's the tree of life, but also within the tree of life are like birds that you wouldn't even actually see unless you're looking at it closely. So I love the fact that you can look at it far away and get like this from far away, and you can get a whole view of a tree. But the closer you come to it, the more you realize just how many life forms are existing within this tree. And that's what makes it the tree of life. And so I love this piece. So I love to come here and just sit on my couch and just look at this. So, I mean, everything that I just said, I mean, like, I really love the detail of it. I love the colors of it. I love, like, I have a lot of green in my house, not down here so much, but in the rest of my house, there's a lot of green. And I love that I put it here because the basement is a space where I can't put a lot of my greens because they'll die. And, the tree of life is just eternally sitting here and beautiful. And I love the birds. And I really, like, honestly, what drew me to it most of all was, like, how beautifully incorporated the birds are into the actual leaves and branches of the tree. Like, some of them you can't even tell, right? Like, you can't tell where this flower ends and the bird begins. So, deeply into that. Okay, now we are on the baby side of my basement. This side was never meant to exist in the basement, actually. It was supposed to be an adults-only space, but the baby just takes over every space of our house one at a time, so we thought we'd make a dedicated space for her. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of my collection right now. So it is a gond piece, and it is, I mean, I just love the colors of it, and it's perfect for Amira because she's really into animals. And what I love most about this piece is that it has a lot of different motifs than you would normally see in a gond piece. So, for example, because we live in India, gond pieces don't usually include things like giraffes. But I got this through CCDF, which runs a program called the Gondwana Project. And basically the idea is to help gond and bhil artists upskill and learn how to use their very traditional techniques and forms in order to create something that's kind of new and refreshing and contemporary and can be sold as sort of a higher, more fine art form. And so, yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces so far. It's just love the colors of it. I love like the negative space here. I love the, the animals, and Amira really likes to come down here and just stare at it. So that's really great too. Also on this wall are my Cherial masks. and my Odisha mask. And they're just like these cute, tiny little things that I saw and I absolutely fell in love with on MeMeraki. And then here, these three are actually by a store called Zookeeper. They are handmade, and when I spoke to the person who runs the store, she told me that she was actually really inspired by Cherial and Odia masks when she conceptualized these. And it's perfect, and they do have, you can see a little bit of similarity in sort of the strokes between them and the various tribal art forms. I want to also mention my Shola flowers. You'll see them in every frame that you see of my house, because they are just the best alternative to fake flowers and even fresh flowers because they don't die. So Shola is a kind of like a wood that grows in the water, a reed that grows in the water, and the center of it is taken out and then carved into things like Shola flowers, which are beautiful, and I recommend that everyone have a lot in their homes. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing my home today. I loved having you all here, and I loved all the works that I've collected from MeMeraki and so many other amazing galleries and brands that are doing this. I'm really grateful for our culture, and I'm really grateful that I get to share so much amazing Indian art with my little baby.